Close your eyes. Let your body sink into your comfortable, soft, warm bed. This is your safe time. This is your quiet, private learning moment. You are ready to learn English without any effort now. Listen to the simple words. They are easy and very slow for your peaceful mind. Every single English sentence is a soft, new step in your learning process. Your mind is open. It is accepting the new language while you deeply relax. The A1 words are entering your memory without any pressure or any stress. Just breathe deeply. Listen to the story. Feel the words rock you gently into a deep, peaceful, restorative sleep now. We start our new, calm, English chapter. Leo was a calm, precise, skilled, professional watchmaker now. He worked in a quiet, small shop in the center of the big city. His new project was very strange and very far away from home. He had to travel to a remote, cold, mountain town called Silent Peak. In this town stood a very old, huge, broken clock in a high, stone tower. The clock had stopped working many years ago in a cold, silent winter. Leo took his special tools and packed his warmest, thickest, heavy clothes for the snow. He traveled first by a long, loud, slow, simple train ride on the tracks. He watched the landscape outside change from green fields to wide, white snow completely. The journey was peaceful. He enjoyed the gentle, constant, rhythmic motion of the smooth train. He arrived at a small, lonely train station at the base of the mountains immediately. The air here was immediately cold and felt very fresh and very sharp on his face. Snow covered everything. It lay in thick, deep, soft, white layers everywhere around the small station. A strong, old, slow local truck waited for him near the small, wooden platform patiently. The driver was a quiet, serious man with a thick, warm, gray beard and kind eyes. Leo loaded his heavy metal cases into the back of the sturdy, old truck. He got in the cab and the long, slow, cold journey began immediately. The truck drove up a steep, winding road that cut through the high, white snow. The trees were thick. They were covered with heavy, white, cold, beautiful frost. Leo saw no other cars or any other people on the entire lonely, mountain road. The silence was huge. It was broken only by the slow, steady hum of the old engine. He looked at the white, high mountains and felt a strange, new, deep sense of isolation. The sun was low. It cast long, blue shadows across the deep, heavy snowdrifts. He knew he would be alone with the old, huge clock for many weeks. This thought made him feel calm. He liked the complete focus that deep isolation brought him. He was a man of details. He was a man of slow, precise, careful, constant movements. The truck continued to climb up, the snow becoming deeper and much heavier now. He could feel the cold through the thick, old, metal door of the slow truck. He pulled his wool scarf up to cover his cold mouth and his cold nose. The driver pointed to a dark, high silhouette visible through the slowly falling snow. This was the town. Silent Peak was built on a flat, wide area near the mountain top. After another slow, long hour, they finally reached the edge of the quiet, small village. The houses were wooden. They were small and completely covered with thick, white snow blankets. The streets were narrow. They were empty and completely silent now. The only lights were soft. They were yellow lights coming from the small, thick, dark windows. The truck drove straight to the center of the small, quiet, snow-covered village. In the main square stood a very tall, old, gray, stone clock tower. It was massive. It dominated all the small, quiet, peaceful wooden buildings nearby. The clock face was round. It was white and had huge, black, long, simple, stopped hands. The time on the clock was exactly 3:45, frozen in cold time. Leo felt a connection to the tower. He felt a connection to the huge, silent, waiting clock immediately. This was his new patient. He had come to heal the old, mechanical, damaged heart of the quiet town. The driver stopped the truck next to the huge, stone clock tower quietly. The sound of the engine stopping created a huge, deep, sudden silence everywhere. Leo got out of the truck. He felt the cold air embrace him like a huge, thick, cold blanket. The snow was falling very lightly, making the only gentle sound in the empty square. He looked up at the still hands of the huge, silent, stopped clock face. The time had stopped here for many, many years, waiting for his precise arrival. He felt a sense of calm purpose. He was here to bring time back to the simple, isolated, waiting village. He was ready to start his long, difficult, slow, patient work tomorrow morning now. The driver helped Leo carry his heavy bags to a small, wooden guest house nearby. The guest house was warm. It was cozy and smelled strongly of pine wood and dry smoke. An old, kind woman greeted him with a gentle, silent smile at the wooden door. She showed him a small, simple room with a clean, high, comfortable bed. The window looked out directly at the massive, old, gray clock tower nearby. Leo unpacked his special tools and placed his work clothes neatly inside the small closet. He looked out the window at the huge, silent, stopped clock face above the square. The frozen time felt strange. It created a quiet, constant pause in the atmosphere of the village. The old woman called him down for a warm, simple, necessary evening meal now. He went to the small, warm kitchen and sat at a low, sturdy, wooden table. He ate a hot, thick soup and fresh bread with simple, local mountain butter. The food was simple. It was very good and very filling after his long, difficult journey. He tried to talk to the old woman, but she only smiled gently and pointed to the falling snow. After dinner, Leo felt a strong pull toward the dark, silent, waiting clock tower outside. He knew he couldn't sleep before seeing the huge, damaged, complicated mechanism. He put on his thick coat and his warm, heavy, reliable, leather gloves. He walked through the soft, fresh, deep snow to the huge, stone clock tower slowly. He found a heavy, strong, wooden door at the base of the massive structure. The door was unlocked, waiting for the specialized watchmaker to arrive. He opened the door and stepped into the complete, inner darkness of the cold stone tower. He turned on his strong flashlight immediately to guide his slow, careful ascent. A narrow, winding, spiral stone staircase led sharply upwards inside the huge tower structure. He started climbing up, going round and round towards the silent clock face quickly. The air was dusty. It was very cold and smelled strongly of old, ancient, dried metal and stone. His steps echoed loudly in the vast, empty, hollow space around his head. He passed several empty, storage rooms built into the thick, dark, cold stone walls. Finally he reached the clock room, a huge, dark, circular space high above the village. He shone his light upon the complex, enormous, silent mechanism immediately. It was massive. The pieces were huge, made of dark, old, heavy iron and thick, dusty, shining brass. The main gear wheel was taller than Leo himself, standing still and cold. Everything was silent. The mechanism was completely frozen in time, covered with a thin, fine layer of cold, soft, gray dust. He saw many thick ropes and heavy chains that held the huge, necessary, heavy clock weights. The weights hung motionless in a deep shaft below the metal floor of the room. He walked slowly around the huge, powerful, central mechanism, observing every silent, cold piece carefully. He noticed some broken parts. A small, crucial brass lever was completely bent and slightly fractured. He shined his light upon the damaged section and immediately understood the simple, original cause of the deep problem. The damage was old. It was caused by a sudden, powerful freeze many winters ago. The repair would be complex. It would require slow, patient, professional work and perfect concentration. He felt a deep peace. He was home. This silent mechanism was the only thing that truly mattered to him now. He did not touch the mechanism yet, just respectfully observed its massive, quiet, frozen state. He knew he had to plan his work very carefully before placing any tool on the ancient metal. He spent a long time in the cold, dark room, absorbing the cold silence and the technical challenge. Leo felt the connection between his own heart and the huge, frozen, silent heart of the tower clock. He smiled slightly. He was ready. He turned off his flashlight and left the dark, cold, quiet clock room slowly. He descended the narrow, stone staircase back down to the small, cold village square immediately. He returned to the warm, cozy guest house and went straight to his clean, small, quiet room. He sat by the window and looked at the tower, now completely dark and unlit. He knew he would sleep well. His mind was filled with the technical details of the big, complex, cold, heavy machine. He took off his boots. He lay down in the warm, comfortable, clean bed to rest deeply. Leo woke up early before the bright morning light arrived. The room was quiet. He looked out the window at the tall, cold clock tower. Snow was still falling slowly outside his small window. He felt ready to begin his difficult, patient, important work now. He dressed in his warmest, thickest wool clothes quickly and carefully. He went to the kitchen for a warm, simple, quick breakfast meal. The old woman gave him hot, strong tea and a piece of soft bread. He felt grateful for the quiet warmth of the small guest house. After eating, he took his special, heavy metal tool case. He walked out into the cold, clean, fresh morning air immediately. The snow crunched softly under his heavy, strong, working boots. He walked to the huge, gray, stone clock tower in the main square now. A small, elderly, serious man was waiting for him at the huge wooden door. This man was the village elder who guarded the big clock. He held a large, old, rusty, heavy key in his thick, worn hand. He smiled faintly at Leo, a small sign of trust and welcome. Leo showed him his papers and his professional identification card. The elder nodded slowly, completely satisfied with his official documents. He gave Leo the huge, cold key to the massive, front wooden tower door. The key felt heavy and very important in Leo's strong, cold hand. The elder wished him good luck with the difficult, large, important repair work. Leo thanked the kind elder and entered the dark, quiet, cold tower alone. He locked the heavy, wooden door behind him against the silent, snowy square. He climbed the steep, winding, spiral stone stairs up to the huge clock room. The mechanism waited silently in the cold, dusty air for his arrival. Leo put his metal tool case down gently on the dusty, stone floor. He looked at the massive, broken, old, silent machine again carefully. The first simple step was always the most necessary and the most important one. He had to remove all the old, thick, fine, gray dust from the cold mechanism first. He put on a small, soft cloth mask to protect his clean lungs from the dry dust. He took a large, soft, clean brush from his special metal tool case immediately. He started brushing the huge, cold gear wheels very slowly and very carefully. The dust was many years old, settled deep into every tiny crevice and corner. He moved with great patience. He worked with complete focus, ignoring the bitter, intense cold of the large stone room. He cleaned the huge, thick iron parts one by one with a calm, even motion. He cleaned the shining, bright, heavy brass levers and all the small, complex springs too. Hours passed very slowly. The only sound was the soft, gentle rustle of the brush moving over the massive, cold metal. The cold was intense. He could see his warm breath floating in the dusty, quiet air constantly. He focused only on the metal texture and the small, visible layer of old dust. He completely forgot the cold. He completely forgot the small village and the high, snowy mountains outside now. He was one with the huge, silent, complex mechanism. This mechanical heart was his only world and his only deep focus now. He worked until his arms felt heavy and his strong fingers became completely numb from the cold. The metal parts began to shine faintly under the huge layer of old dust removal. He stopped working to take a short, necessary, simple break for a moment. He looked at the big pile of thick, gray dust collected on the stone floor nearby. He knew the mechanism was still broken. But now the beautiful, true complexity of the machine was completely visible. He felt a quiet pride in his intense, slow, focused cleaning work. The problem was clear now. The repair process could finally begin tomorrow. He packed his brush and his cloth mask carefully back into the heavy metal tool case immediately. He descended the dark, spiral, stone staircase slowly and carefully, feeling the tiredness now. He left the silent, huge, cold clock tower and locked the huge wooden door firmly. He looked up at the huge, white clock face again, still frozen at 3:45. He smiled a small, gentle smile. He knew the correct time would soon return to this peaceful, quiet, isolated town. He walked back to the warm, small guest house to rest his tired body and his busy mind deeply. The sun was setting low, painting the white snow a beautiful, soft, light orange color. He entered the guest house and immediately went to his small, quiet room to relax. He took off his thick, warm, heavy coat and all his cold, working gloves. He washed his hands and his face with warm, soft, running water in the small basin. He felt the warmth spreading slowly back into his cold, strong, tired fingers now. He lay down on the clean, high, comfortable bed for a few short minutes of necessary rest. The silence of the small wooden house was deep and very comforting to him. He closed his eyes and allowed his focused mind to drift freely. He saw the giant gears turning slowly and smoothly in his mind's eye now. He analyzed the complex bend in the small, broken brass lever very clearly. He mentally planned the exact, necessary steps for the hard repair process ahead. He needed to measure the damaged part precisely with his small, accurate tools. He would then need to gently file the brass piece back into its original, perfect shape. This step required complete stillness. This step required complete control of his strong, steady, focused hands. The old woman called him for his evening meal again with a soft, quiet, gentle knock. He got up and went to the warm, small, comfortable, familiar kitchen area. The woman served him a hot, simple, traditional meal of potatoes and salted meat. He ate slowly, savoring the warm, simple, delicious taste of the food on his tongue. He looked out the small, thick window at the dark, snowy square outside. The clock tower was a huge, dark, solid silhouette against the lighter, snowy sky. He felt completely at peace in this cold, quiet, high mountain village now. He realized that he enjoyed the deep, long isolation from the noisy, busy city life. Here, only the mechanism and the accurate time truly mattered to him. The people lived slowly. They lived simply. They lived with a deep, quiet patience that he admired greatly. He finished his evening meal and thanked the kind, old woman with a sincere nod. He went back to his room to prepare his tools for the upcoming, crucial, important work. He opened his heavy metal tool case and spread his precise, small instruments on the wooden table. He laid out the fine files. He laid out the small pliers. He laid out his accurate, shining, complex measuring gauges too. He checked the small, sharp point of his best, strongest, finest metal file very carefully. He knew the repair depended entirely on the smooth, accurate action of this single tool. He put the tools neatly back into the metal case, ready for the next hard day. Leo woke up with the sun high above the snowy mountain peaks now. He felt completely rested and fully ready for his important, difficult work. He took his special tool case and walked quickly to the tall, cold clock tower. He unlocked the heavy wooden door and slowly climbed the stone, spiral, winding staircase up. The huge mechanism waited silently in the cold, clear, morning air above. Today was the most important day of the whole repair process. He went directly to the section where the small, brass, bent lever was located. This small piece had stopped the entire, massive, powerful machine for years. Leo carefully set up his small, strong, wooden workbench on the dusty, stone floor nearby. He opened his metal tool case and laid out his precise, shiny, sharp instruments immediately. He put on his special glasses to see the tiny, crucial details very clearly. He took a small, accurate measuring gauge from his simple tool case now. He measured the lever's exact length and its necessary, correct, perfect angle. He wrote the numbers down in his small, clean, professional notebook carefully. The lever was bent by just a tiny fraction of a millimeter only. That small fraction was enough to stop the rotation of the huge, main gear wheel completely. Now came the difficult part. He had to remove the damaged, small lever from the huge, main mechanism. He used small, strong, delicate pliers to undo the two tiny, old, brass screws holding the lever firmly. He worked slowly. He worked with great patience, making sure he did not scratch any of the surrounding metal parts. The screws were stuck. They were very tight from years of cold and complete stillness. He applied a tiny drop of special oil to each frozen screw thread gently. He waited for one full, long minute for the oil to slowly penetrate the cold, hard metal. He turned the first small screw again very slowly and with deep, steady, constant pressure. It moved. It came out smoothly and completely without any problem now. The second screw followed the first one, turning easily and quickly out of the hole. Leo lifted the small, bent, brass lever off the huge, silent machine carefully. He carried the tiny part to his small, wooden workbench to begin the repair process. He secured the lever in a soft, padded vise to hold it perfectly still and firm. He took his finest, sharpest metal file, the one he checked last night, carefully. He looked at the piece of metal and felt the huge responsibility of this tiny action. He began to file the lever gently. He applied light, steady, even pressure, working only on the damaged, bent section. The file made a soft, hissing sound against the cold, old, hard brass. He worked for a long time, filing away the tiny excess metal slowly. He stopped often to check the new angle with his accurate, small measuring gauge very closely. The angle had to be perfect. It had to be correct to the smallest possible degree for the clock to start. After many minutes of intense, calm, focused work, the filing was finally finished and completed. He cleaned the brass piece with a soft, clean cloth, removing all the fine, gray metal dust. The lever was straight. It had the exact, correct angle that the original design required now. He felt a wave of relief wash over his cold, strong, tired body instantly. He carried the repaired lever back to the huge, silent clock mechanism again. He held the lever carefully and fitted it back into its small, original, important place. He put the two tiny screws back into their holes and tightened them firmly. He worked slowly, ensuring the lever moved freely but with no extra, unwanted, dangerous play. The lever moved perfectly. It was ready to engage the huge, main gear wheel again now. The big problem was solved. The frozen heart of the huge clock was finally open and ready to beat again. He looked at the massive machine. He knew it was now ready to receive the strong, necessary, constant energy again. He packed up his tools and left the cold, quiet clockroom for the day. He felt tired. He felt a deep sense of quiet, intense satisfaction inside his heart. He would return tomorrow to start the huge, powerful pendulum swinging again. Leo returned to the tower with a feeling of strong, quiet anticipation today. The precise repair of the lever was now complete and successful. He knew the mechanism was ready to move again and start counting time. He first spent time checking the small, crucial lubrication points carefully. He applied a tiny drop of clean, special clock oil to every main axle point. He used a small, soft brush to spread the oil evenly over the shining metal. The oil was clear. It protected the metal from the cold and allowed for smooth movement. He checked the huge, heavy weights hanging in the deep, dark shaft below the mechanism. The weights provided the strong, necessary power to keep the big clock running. They were held in place by a huge, strong, heavy, iron catch safely. Leo had to release the catch now. This would allow the weights to begin their slow, controlled descent completely. He took a deep breath. He felt the great power that the huge iron weights possessed. He pushed the heavy iron catch slowly with a firm, careful, deliberate motion. The catch opened with a deep, low, metallic, rumbling sound immediately. The weights began to sink slowly and quietly into the deep, dark, empty shaft below him. The main gear wheel in front of him immediately started to turn slowly now. Leo watched the huge gear wheel move with a quiet, deep, patient reverence. The power had returned to the massive, complex machine. The time had not yet started. The big pendulum was still hanging still and cold. He walked around the mechanism to face the giant, long, heavy, beautiful pendulum rod. This pendulum was the true heart of the entire, powerful, complex time machine. It was massive. It was made of long, thick, heavy, cold iron. Leo stood very still next to the silent, huge, waiting rod. He knew he had to give it the first necessary push to start the time. He placed his strong hand on the heavy, cold, smooth pendulum bob at the bottom. He pulled the pendulum back gently, moving it slightly away from its central resting position. He held it for a brief, short moment, feeling the massive, heavy weight in his steady, strong hand. He released the pendulum rod slowly and smoothly, giving it its first, gentle motion. The giant rod swung forward in a majestic, beautiful, slow, wide arc. It swung back and forth, beginning its slow, powerful, constant, rhythmic swing. The mechanism immediately locked onto the pendulum's motion exactly. Then came the first sound. A huge, loud, deep, satisfying tick echoed through the vast, cold stone tower loudly. It was followed by a deep, strong, constant, rhythmic talk immediately. The huge sound of the clock working was back after many years of frozen silence. Leo felt the vibration of the heavy pendulum through the stone floor beneath his feet. He smiled widely. He felt a sudden, intense burst of pure, complete professional joy. The clock was alive. The huge heart was strongly beating again inside the cold tower. He watched the pendulum swing for many long minutes, listening to the huge, deep, rhythmic sound. He knew the clock was not completely fixed yet. The hands on the outside were still frozen at the wrong, old time. But the engine was working. The necessary power was flowing smoothly through the gears again. He went to his small workbench to pack up his remaining tools now. He left the room. He descended the winding, stone staircase, the huge, loud tick-tock, following his slow, tired steps. He closed the heavy door and locked it firmly against the cold, snowy square outside. He looked up at the huge, silent, white clock face high above the empty village. The hands were wrong. But the time had started again. The true time was now secretly counting inside the tower walls. He walked back to the guest house and entered the warm, quiet kitchen to rest. He felt tired. He felt the pleasant, deep tiredness that comes from difficult, successful work. He knew the village would soon hear the sound of its time returning completely. He would start the final step tomorrow, moving the hands to the perfect, true time. Leo woke up to the sound of the giant clock working now. The deep tick-tock sound filled the quiet, small, wooden guest house. It was a calm, constant sound, very different from the earlier deep silence. He knew the mechanism was running perfectly inside the stone tower now. The final task was waiting. He had to climb up to the huge clock face outside the tower. He needed to set the hands to the correct, true time for the small village. He ate a quick, simple breakfast and drank a strong, hot cup of tea immediately. He put on his thickest coat and his heavy, working boots and gloves again. He took only a small, special wrench and his small, correct, accurate pocket watch. He walked quickly to the tower, listening to the huge, loud, working sound. He climbed the spiral stairs and went straight to the circular clock room immediately. The pendulum was swinging powerfully, filling the cold air with its huge, deep sound. The gears were turning slowly, smoothly, and perfectly, shining faintly under the low light. Leo checked his work. Everything was clean and everything was moving correctly inside the tower. He felt completely satisfied with his complex repair job now. He looked for the access door leading to the huge dial outside the tower wall. The door was small. It was made of old, thick, heavy, dark metal and was very low. He opened the metal door and stepped out onto a narrow, stone platform outside carefully. The cold hit him immediately. The wind was strong and bitingly cold on his exposed face. He could see the entire quiet village below him, covered completely with the deep, white snow. The view was huge. It was beautiful and very silent, except for the loud clock sound nearby. He turned to the huge clock face, a massive, white, round circle directly in front of him. The big, black hands were frozen at the old, wrong time of 3:45. The platform was narrow. It was slippery from the small, thin layer of ice and new snow. Leo carefully moved along the narrow edge towards the central axle point now. He had to be very careful. The height was dizzying, and the wind was strong and constant. He secured his body to a nearby iron railing with a strong, thick, safety rope. He did not like the height. But this work had to be done now. He reached the central point where the two huge hands were fixed onto the main, cold metal rod. He used his small, special wrench to unfix the outer, decorative metal cap slowly. He exposed the large, heavy nuts that held the huge hands firmly in their old place. He used the same wrench to slowly loosen the main, strong, brass nuts gently. The hands were now loose. He could move them freely with his strong, gloved hand now. He looked at his small, accurate pocket watch to see the correct, true time exactly. It was exactly 11 o'clock in the bright, clear, snowy morning. He pushed the long, heavy, minute hand slowly until it reached the top position at 12 perfectly. He pushed the shorter, heavy, hour hand slowly until it pointed exactly to the number 11 now. He held the hands firmly in their new, correct position with his strong, steady hand. He quickly tightened the heavy, brass nuts back into their final, tight place again. He replaced the outer, smooth, metal cap and screwed it firmly back onto the axle now. The task was finished. The huge hands now showed the correct, accurate time to the entire, waiting, quiet village below. He removed his safety rope and his small, special wrench and started moving back slowly. He stepped back into the warmth of the clock room and closed the small, heavy metal door firmly. He looked out the window at the huge face. The time was 11 o'clock. The work was complete. The loud sound of the clock striking noon stayed with Leo in the quiet, warm guest house. He packed his special tools back into the heavy, metal, silver tool case carefully. He cleaned the small workbench and put his remaining clothes into his large suitcase. His work was finished. The big clock was running perfectly and loudly now. He felt a deep sadness about leaving the isolated, peaceful mountain village soon. He had grown used to the clean, cold air and the deep, surrounding silence. He enjoyed the slow, simple life here, far away from the noisy, busy city. He knew he would miss the huge, constant sound of the strong, working pendulum. The old woman from the guest house knocked gently on his small, wooden door. She told him that the village elder wanted him to come to the main hall now. There was a special meal prepared for him in the center of the small, quiet village. Leo put on his thick coat and followed the kind, smiling woman to the large, communal hall. The hall was warm. It was filled with many people, including the elder and the driver of the slow, old truck. They all smiled at Leo. They showed their gratitude for the new, loud, correct time he brought. A long, wooden table was set with many large plates of simple, traditional, local mountain food. Leo sat next to the elder man at the head of the long, full table. The people began to eat and to talk quietly about their peaceful, simple, mountain life. The elder spoke about the time before Leo arrived, the time of silence and old, wrong time. He said the broken clock had made the whole village feel lost and very disorganized. He thanked Leo again for his patience and his great, specialized, complex skill. He gave Leo a small, wooden carving, a beautiful gift of a simple, thick, white mountain ram. Leo accepted the gift with a sincere, deep smile and thanked the elder for the kind gesture. He felt the strong connection to these people who lived so close to nature. The meal was long. The atmosphere was joyful and completely peaceful and warm. Leo listened to the quiet conversations and the gentle, simple laughter of the children nearby. He knew he had done a deeply important job for this small, remote, waiting community. The clock was more than just a machine. It was the powerful symbol of their correct, constant, shared, necessary existence. After the meal, the truck driver quietly told Leo that the road was clear for his long, difficult journey now. Leo said,
"Goodbye,"
to the elder man and the kind, smiling woman from the guest house. He shook the hands of the people and felt their warmth and their deep, quiet thanks. He carried his bags to the old, slow truck and climbed into the front, comfortable seat. The truck started its engine and slowly pulled away from the snow-covered, quiet, peaceful village square. Leo looked back at the huge, stone clock tower, standing tall and strong against the high, white mountains. He heard the constant, loud rhythm of the pendulum working inside the cold, stone walls clearly. He felt the success of his mission like a warm blanket over his strong, quiet, tired heart now. He closed his eyes for a brief, short moment as the truck drove down the winding, snowy mountain road. He would carry the memory of the tower and the huge, silent mechanism with him forever. The clock was ticking. The time was moving. The world was correct again, thanks to his careful, patient, slow, focused work. The old, slow truck started its long descent down the snowy mountain road now. Leo looked back at the high, stone clock tower one last, quiet, appreciative time. The huge, white clock face showed the correct, accurate time clearly to him. He heard the faint, distant sound of the strong, working pendulum in his memory. The driver was quiet. He focused only on the icy, winding, narrow, difficult road ahead immediately. The journey down the mountain was slower than the ascent had been before. The truck slid gently on the deep, soft snow, demanding all the driver's focus. Leo watched the white landscape slowly change from high peaks to lower, wide, thick pine forests. He held the small, wooden carving of the ram in his strong, warm, gentle hand. He thought about the quiet, slow people of Silent Peak Village and their peaceful, simple lives. He remembered the satisfaction of the clock striking noon and the people's grateful faces. His time in the mountains had been a deep, peaceful break from the city's fast, rushing, busy rhythm. He felt his mind was clear. His focus was sharper and completely restored now. After a long time, the truck reached the small, lonely, wooden train station at the mountain base again. The air here was still cold, but much milder than the cold air at the very top. The train was waiting. It was a long, old, simple, slow, familiar train ready to move. Leo thanked the driver sincerely and gave him a strong, deep, warm handshake immediately. The driver nodded slowly. He wished Leo a safe, good journey back to the busy, noisy, complex city. Leo took his heavy metal case and his suitcase and boarded the waiting, empty, slow train. He found a clean, quiet seat next to a large window in the quiet train car. He watched the driver pull away in the old, slow truck and disappear back up the snowy mountain road. The train started to move. It pulled away from the small, lonely station with a slow, gentle, quiet motion. The rhythm of the train was slow. It was a constant, soft sound, different from the clock's huge tick-tock. He listened to the wheels turning over the metal tracks smoothly and evenly. This new rhythm was the sound of return. It was the sound of his next small, private, learning chapter. He leaned back in his seat and closed his tired eyes for a few short minutes of necessary rest. He felt the gentle sway of the train car rocking his body softly. He allowed the images of the huge, silent mechanism to drift away from his mind. He allowed the memory of the cold, quiet tower to settle deeply into his peaceful, calm heart. He was ready to return. He was ready to go back to his small, precise, quiet shop in the center of the big, complex city. He knew his perspective was changed. He would work with a new, deeper, quiet appreciation for the gentle, constant flow of accurate time now. The simple people of Silent Peak Village taught him the value of quiet, slow, patient, peaceful, daily life. He opened his eyes. The landscape outside was becoming greener and the snow was quickly disappearing now. He was leaving the high, cold, white mountains and their beautiful, deep silence behind him. He was carrying the warm gift of the villagers' deep gratitude and his successful repair work with him. The train continued its long, slow, gentle, rhythmic journey towards the huge, busy, noisy city. This is Tom. Tom is a boy. He is 10 years old. Tom lives in a small house. The house is near a park. Tom likes the park. It is green. Tom wakes up. It is 7 o'clock. The sun is shining. Tom is happy. He gets out of bed. The floor is cold. Tom puts on his slippers. They are blue. Tom goes to the bathroom. He washes his face. He brushes his teeth. Tom is ready for the day. Tom goes to the kitchen. His mother is there. She is smiling. "Good morning, Tom," she says. "Good morning, Mother," Tom says. Tom sits at the table. He eats breakfast. He eats toast. He drinks orange juice. The toast is warm. The juice is sweet. Tom has a school bag. It is new. It is a little blue backpack. The backpack is very small. Tom likes the color blue. Tom opens the backpack. He puts a book inside. The book is about dogs. He puts a pencil case inside. The pencil case is red. He puts an apple inside. The apple is red, too. Tom is ready for school. He takes the blue backpack. The blue backpack is light. It is on his back. He says, "Goodbye, Mother." He goes outside. The street is quiet. Tom walks to school. The school is not far. He sees a big, tall tree. A small, black cat is under the tree. The cat looks at Tom. Tom smiles at the cat. Tom arrives at school. The school building is big. His class is on the second floor. Tom has his blue backpack. His day starts now. This is a good day. Tom walks into the big, bright classroom with his blue backpack on his shoulders. He sees his teacher, Mrs. Davis, who is standing near the large window and smiling warmly. Mrs. Davis always wears a beautiful, colorful dress and has kind eyes behind her glasses. Tom quickly finds his desk, which is placed next to his best friend, a quiet girl named Lily. Lily is already drawing a picture of a funny rabbit with long, floppy ears in her notebook. Tom carefully places his new, small blue backpack on the back of his chair and sits down quietly. He opens his beautiful new backpack to take out the red pencil case he packed this morning. The red pencil case is full of sharp pencils, colorful crayons, and one very good eraser for mistakes. He loves the zipper on the pencil case because it has a little silver star decoration. Suddenly, Lily looks up from her drawing and she notices the interesting red pencil case in Tom's hands. "That is a really nice pencil case, Tom. Where did you buy that beautiful thing?" she asks him very politely. Tom feels happy that Lily likes his new school supply, which he bought last weekend. "My mother and I found it at the big stationery store in the town center," Tom answers proudly to his friend. Tom carefully takes a new, yellow pencil out of the pencil case to write the date on his notebook page. He is ready for the exciting first lesson of the school day, which is always about interesting geography. He knows that his blue backpack and his special red pencil case will help him learn many new and important things today. The classroom is now full of students, and Mrs. Davis claps her hands to begin the lesson very soon. The school bell rings loudly now. Mrs. Davis stands by the big blackboard. She has a large colorful map. The map shows the whole world. Tom looks at the map closely. The map is blue and green. Blue is the ocean water. Green is the dry land. Mrs. Davis points to the map. "This is Europe," she says clearly. Tom sees a small red spot. That red spot is his home country. Tom feels a little proud inside. Lily points at a very large blue area. "Is that the big sea?" she asks the teacher. "Yes, Lily, that is the big Pacific Ocean," Mrs. Davis replies gently. Tom thinks about the enormous ocean. He thinks about big boats sailing there. He imagines small, happy fish swimming far below. Tom loves geography lessons very much. They make him think of travel. Tom touches his small blue backpack softly. His little backpack feels warm now. He pretends his blue backpack is a very small boat. The blue boat is sailing on the big map. The boat goes to a beautiful green island. The island has tall, sweet banana trees. Tom smiles a little secret smile. He writes "island" in his small notebook. The lesson continues slowly and calmly. Tom keeps looking at the big world map. He loves to learn new places. This map shows the wonderful, exciting world. Tom is happy in the warm classroom now. The school day is now finished completely. The final bell rings loudly. Students stand up from their chairs. Tom quickly packs his school supplies. He puts the red pencil case inside. The dog book goes into the small blue backpack. The blue backpack is now full. Tom puts it on his back. He says,
"Goodbye,"
to Mrs. Davis. He waves,
"Goodbye,"
to his good friend Lily. Tom walks out of the bright classroom. He walks down the stairs slowly. Many children are walking with him. They are all happy and very loud. Tom goes outside into the fresh air. The sun is still shining brightly. The air is warm and pleasant today. Tom starts his walk back to his home. He walks down the familiar long street. He sees the big tall tree again. The small black cat is not there now. Tom wonders where the small cat went. He walks past a large, busy grocery store. The store sells many fresh fruits. He hears loud music from a window. Tom sees a small red car driving by fast. He waits patiently at the crosswalk. A police officer stops all the busy cars. Tom crosses the wide, clean road safely. He continues walking past the quiet park area. The green grass looks very soft there. A group of cheerful children are playing a game. They are kicking a bright yellow ball high. Tom hears their happy laughter clearly. He sees a mother pushing a baby stroller slowly. Tom keeps walking towards his small house. He feels a little bit hungry now. He remembers the red apple in his bag. He reaches into the blue backpack carefully. He takes out the fresh, red, perfect apple. He washes the fruit with his water bottle. Tom slowly bites into the sweet apple. The apple tastes very delicious and juicy. The blue backpack feels lighter with no apple now. Tom turns the last corner quickly. He sees his own small, beautiful house. The house looks very peaceful and welcoming. He sees his mother standing at the kitchen window. She is waving happily at her son. Tom waves his hand back at his mother. He walks up the porch steps quickly. The important journey is now finished. Tom opens the front door carefully. He is happy to be back home now. It was a very good, fun school day. Tom is now inside his warm house. He closes the front door softly. He goes straight to the cozy kitchen. His mother gives him a glass of cold milk. The milk tastes very cool and fresh. Tom drinks all the milk quickly. He says thank you to his kind mother. He goes into his own bedroom. His bedroom walls are painted light yellow. Tom puts the blue backpack on his desk. He opens his special small backpack. It is now time to do homework. Tom takes out his school books. He also takes out the red pencil case. The homework is about adding numbers. Tom writes the answers carefully. He uses his yellow pencil for the work. He finishes his math homework fast. Now he needs his geography book. He reaches into the blue backpack again. He feels something very soft there. It is not his geography book. Tom pulls the soft item out slowly. It is a piece of colorful cloth. The cloth is folded very neatly. Tom opens the colorful cloth gently. It is a small picture inside. The picture is of a cute dog. The small dog wears a tiny red hat. Tom has never seen this picture before. Where did this dog picture come from? Tom wonders to himself. He looks inside his blue backpack again. There are no other strange things inside. Tom thinks about the school classroom. He thinks about his friend Lily carefully. Maybe Lily put the small picture there. Tom smiles at the cute dog's face. He likes the little red hat very much. He decides to keep the small picture safe. Tom puts the folded cloth in his desk drawer. He will ask Lily about it tomorrow at school. The blue backpack holds a secret. Tom finally finds his geography book. Now he finishes his easy homework. Tom went to bed very late. He was thinking about the small dog picture. He put the special picture under his pillow. Tom closed his eyes slowly. He fell asleep deeply and calmly. Tom had a very strange dream that night. He was on a big blue ocean. His blue backpack was a tiny boat. The small dog from the picture was sailing. The dog was wearing its red hat. The dog barked happily at Tom. "Hello, Tom," the dog seemed to say. Tom laughed in his funny dream. The small boat sailed very fast. It went to a distant green island. The island had many tall banana trees. The dog jumped off the little boat. Tom woke up suddenly from the dream. It was morning now again. The sun was shining brightly outside. Tom remembered the strange sailing dog. He quickly checked under his pillow. The small dog picture was still there. Tom smiled at the cute dog's face. Tom got ready for the new school day. He ate his warm toast quickly. He put the dog picture safely away. He took his blue backpack and left the house. He walked quickly down the familiar street. He arrived at the big school building. Tom saw Lily near the classroom door. She was talking to another friend. Tom walked over to talk to Lily. "Good morning, Lily," Tom said clearly. "Good morning, Tom," Lily answered him back. Tom showed the special dog picture. He pulled it out of his backpack. "Lily, did you put this picture here?" Tom asked her directly. Lily looked closely at the small picture. She saw the cute dog with the red hat. "Oh, that is my secret picture," Lily said happily now. "I drew that dog last weekend." Tom was very surprised by her answer. "I put it in your nice red pencil case." "But why did you put it in there?" Tom asked his friend. Lily giggled a little bit quietly. "It is a lucky picture for you. It will help you with your math homework." Tom felt very happy to hear this news. He loved the small, cute dog very much. "Thank you very much, Lily," Tom said politely to her. "The picture gave me a very nice dream." Lily smiled widely at her good friend. Tom put the special picture in his blue backpack. He felt lucky to have such a kind friend. The small picture was a wonderful gift. Tom and Lily walk happily into the bright classroom together now. They talk quietly about the small dog picture. Tom tells Lily about his very strange sailing dream. Lily laughs gently when she hears about the dog's red hat. The morning bell rings, so the students sit down quickly. Mrs. Davis starts the interesting history lesson right away. Today the lesson is about famous old explorers. The teacher shows pictures of big ships on the screen. Tom immediately remembers his geography map from yesterday. He still thinks about that lovely remote green island. During the short break, Tom talks to his friend Lily again. "Let's plan our own small trip today after school," Tom suggests eagerly. Lily looks excited about his very good idea. "Where exactly should we go on our exciting adventure?" Lily asks Tom immediately. Tom thinks for a moment, looking at the big window. "We can go to the quiet park near my own house," Tom suggests to his friend. "That big park can be our beautiful green island." Lily thinks this sounds like a very fun plan for the afternoon. They decide to pack their small blue backpacks carefully for the trip. Tom puts a warm blanket inside his blue backpack for comfort. Lily decides to pack some sweet cookies for their delicious snack. Tom also remembers to pack the special picture of the lucky dog. The small dog will be their lucky charm. They agree to meet exactly at 3 o'clock near the big school gate. Tom feels very excited about their planned afternoon adventure. This day is turning out to be more fun than they expected. Now they must pay close attention to the important history lesson. They look forward to their fun trip to the peaceful Green Island Park. The school day finally came to its happy end at 3 o'clock. Tom quickly grabbed his small blue backpack from under his desk. He walked directly toward the big glass school gate with excitement. Lily was already standing there and patiently waiting for her friend. She was holding her small, bright purple backpack tightly in her hands. Her new purple backpack looked almost as good as Tom's beautiful blue one. "Hello, Tom, are you completely ready for our big new expedition?" Lily asked him with an eager, quiet whisper. Tom smiled broadly and gently touched his small blue backpack with his fingers. "Yes, I am totally ready for the journey to our secret Green Island," he answered her. He showed Lily the soft, thick warm blanket inside his small bag. Lily then proudly showed him 3 delicious-looking chocolate cookies she baked. They were both very well prepared for this fun afternoon adventure together. The 2 good friends started their pleasant walk toward the quiet city park. The afternoon sunlight felt very warm and golden after their long day. They slowly walked along the quiet path next to the old calm river. "This wide, silver river is our huge endless ocean," Lily declared joyfully with a proud smile. Tom instantly agreed with her interesting idea and imagined high waves on the water. Their small, comfortable backpacks suddenly became their 2 strong, reliable ships. They walked for about 10 minutes, enjoying the quiet neighborhood sounds. Finally, they saw the large, beautiful green entrance gates of the park. These high gates quickly became the special official entrance to their secret island. The park area was completely filled with very tall green trees and bright, colorful flowers. Many happy birds were singing their beautiful, cheerful summer songs loudly. Tom and Lily went deep inside the quiet, pleasant green zone. They were searching for the perfect, most secret spot for their base camp. They found an absolutely ideal place under the branches of an old, big oak tree. This comfortable spot was very quiet and successfully hidden from everyone else. Tom gently spread his warm blanket upon the soft green grass carefully. Lily immediately sat down comfortably on the blanket with great satisfaction. They both quickly removed their 2 small backpacks from their tired backs. They had successfully arrived safely at their beautiful secret island. Tom opened his blue backpack to start the exciting lunch moment. He also carefully took out the special small picture of the dog in the red hat. He placed the small picture on the soft blanket as their lucky protector. Lily quickly opened her small bag and offered Tom one of the tasty chocolate cookies. This was the wonderful beginning of their peaceful and perfect afternoon together. Tom and Lily relaxed comfortably on the soft, warm blanket together now. They shared the delicious chocolate cookies from Lily's purple backpack very quickly. They talked about their fun lessons and funny friends at school. Tom showed Lily the bright red apple core from his blue backpack. He explained that the apple made his journey home much shorter. Lily then looked closely at the special dog picture on the blanket. The small dog wore a very familiar red hat. The lucky dog must also be a brave explorer, Lily suggested thoughtfully to Tom. Tom agreed that the small picture brought good fortune to their afternoon adventure. He took his yellow pencil from the red case for drawing. Tom started drawing a big, simple map of their lovely secret island park. He drew the old oak tree as the highest mountain peak. He drew the blanket area as their safe, comfortable harbor. Lily pointed to a nearby bush with bright yellow flowers blooming. "That beautiful bush is our exotic treasure hiding place," she declared excitedly. They laughed joyfully while working on the special island map together. Tom then asked Lily about the small dog picture again. "Why did you draw the cute little dog wearing a bright red hat?" Tom wanted to know the full answer. Lily explained that the red hat belonged to her grandfather's old boat. Her grandfather sailed on the big ocean many years ago. The red hat brought him good luck against the strong winds, Lily told the story patiently. "So I drew the dog wearing the same red lucky hat for you." Tom felt very warm and happy about this thoughtful, sweet secret story. He understood that the small dog was more than just a simple drawing now. It was a true symbol of kindness and very strong friendship between them. They packed up their small backpacks after enjoying the peaceful afternoon. They folded the warm blanket neatly back into Tom's blue bag. They quickly said
Goodbye
to the quiet old oak tree. The sun was now setting, making the whole sky orange and pink. Their wonderful trip to the Green Island was happily completed for today. 1010 to 15 200. 200, 2000 to 3000. 1080, A1/A2 10 to 15. Crescent Moon Part 10, The Little Blue Backpack Goes Home. Blue Book Part 10, The Little Blue Backpack Goes Home. The sun was slowly setting down behind the distant tall trees now. Tom and Lily stood near the park entrance, preparing for their quick farewell. Their lovely afternoon adventure on the secret Green Island had finally finished completely. They both felt happy and pleasantly tired after all their fun activities. "Thank you very much for sharing your delicious chocolate cookies with me," Tom told Lily very sincerely. "And thank you for the wonderful lucky drawing of the sailing dog," he added with a smile. Lily responded politely, saying, "I am very happy that the special dog picture brought you good luck." They promised each other to plan another great expedition soon next week. Tom put his blue backpack on his back again, feeling its familiar, comfortable weight. He waved his hand
goodbye
to his good friend Lily and started his walk home. The street lights were beginning to turn on slowly, coloring the quiet street yellow. The air was becoming cooler and much quieter than it was earlier in the day. Tom walked past the busy grocery store, which was now closing for the night. He saw the police officer directing the last few cars going home quickly. He looked up at the moon, which was just starting to appear in the darkening sky above. Tom was thinking deeply about all the wonderful events that happened today. He thought about the big world map and the distant islands he saw in the classroom. He remembered the small, lucky picture hidden inside his comfortable blue backpack. His blue backpack was truly more than just a simple container for his books. It was now a powerful vessel for carrying all his beautiful memories. His new backpack carried the good memory of the sweet cookies they shared happily. It carried the fun secret of their special Green Island adventure together. It carried the warm feeling of his growing, strong friendship with Lily. The backpack even held the exciting dream of the small dog wearing the little red hat. Tom finally arrived back at his warm, peaceful, safe small house. He opened the front door quietly and went straight into the bright kitchen area. His mother greeted him with a kind smile and asked about his long day. Tom told her about his fun trip and the wonderful special lucky picture. He took off his small blue backpack, placing it gently near his bedroom wall. The blue backpack waited patiently for the start of the next new day. Tom knew that the next day would surely bring even more exciting new adventures. The little blue backpack was ready to carry him safely through all the wonderful world. Tom woke up feeling very happy and completely rested on the quiet morning. The first thing he saw was his small blue backpack resting peacefully by the desk. He felt a deep sense of wonderful friendship and great accomplishment from yesterday's trip. He knew that the blue backpack was now his special traveling companion forever. He quickly got dressed and went to the kitchen for his warm, important breakfast. He ate his favorite oatmeal with sweet honey and drank hot, fresh tea. Tom thought about the upcoming school day and what fun lessons awaited them. He was especially excited for the next time he would see his good friend Lily. Tom went back to his room to carefully pack his special blue backpack for school. He put in his big math textbook and his smaller science notebook gently. He took out the lucky small dog picture from his safe desk drawer immediately. He placed the colorful drawing right inside his red pencil case for safekeeping. The sailing dog would surely protect his valuable homework assignments. He understood that every single new day brought unique opportunities for learning and fun. Tom realized that learning new English words was just like going on a very quiet expedition. Each new word was like finding another small, new green island on his big world map. He wanted to learn many more words to better describe his beautiful adventures. He took his small blue backpack and said,
"Goodbye,"
to his kind, smiling mother. He walked down his quiet street, feeling the cool morning air on his face now. He looked at the tall oak tree and remembered their secret island exploration. He knew the great wide world was full of many fascinating places to discover. When Tom arrived at the big school gate, he immediately saw his best friend Lily waiting. They greeted each other warmly and immediately started talking about their future plans. "We should start learning about flying big airplanes next time," Tom suggested with great enthusiasm. Lily smiled broadly, saying, "And our blue backpacks can absolutely be our very fast small airplanes." They walked into the large school building together, feeling excited about the day. The little blue backpack was ready to carry another day's worth of truly amazing new memories. Tom sat quietly at his wooden desk, thinking deeply about his fun plans with Lily. Mrs. Davis started the important science lesson about the fascinating different kinds of animals now. She explained how tiny ants work very hard together to build their strong, underground homes. Tom thought about how he and Lily also worked together to plan their secret island trip. Suddenly, Mrs. Davis brought out a large, transparent glass jar for the students to see. Inside the glass jar, there were many small, busy brown earthworms moving slowly. Lily made a funny face because she did not like the slow, wiggly earthworms very much. Tom tried to be brave and looked closely at the interesting creatures in the jar. He remembered that even small, simple earthworms are very important for the big earth. Mrs. Davis explained that earthworms help the green plants grow big and very healthy. Tom realized that every single creature has a useful, necessary job in the whole world. He thought about the small, cute dog picture in his red pencil case. Even the little lucky dog had the important job of bringing him good fortune. During the quiet lesson, Tom drew a tiny picture of a happy earthworm on his notepad. He smiled, knowing he would show his funny, new drawing to his friend Lily later. He was learning that science was just as exciting as all the geography lessons. He quickly wrote down the most important facts in his small notebook very carefully. He knew his blue backpack would safely carry all this new, important knowledge home. Tom felt very grateful for every new thing he learned every single day now. The long school day was finally ending, and the dismissal bell rang loudly throughout the big school. Tom and Lily met quickly near the classroom door, planning their time after school. Tom told Lily about the interesting science lesson and the busy, wiggly earthworms. Lily laughed happily when Tom showed her his small, funny earthworm drawing. "We need a new, exciting destination for our next special trip soon," Tom suggested eagerly to his best friend Lily. Lily thought for a moment and looked toward the tall climbing frame on the playground outside. "Maybe we can explore the playground and call it the Big Mountain Range," Lily proposed very creatively. Tom loved the challenging new idea of climbing a huge, powerful mountain instead of sailing. Tom realized that they did not need a real boat or a dangerous mountain for their imagination. They only needed their strong, creative minds and their wonderful blue backpacks. They decided they would prepare their small bags for a big climbing expedition tomorrow afternoon. Tom promised to bring extra bottles of cold water for their physically challenging climb. Lily promised to bring some tasty salty snacks for their much-needed rest at the top. They walked out of the school building, already feeling the thrill of the next big adventure together. Tom felt the comfortable weight of his small blue backpack resting securely on his back. He knew that the blue backpack would faithfully carry all the supplies for their mountain climb. They walked a short distance together before turning toward their separate, safe homes. Tom knew that the anticipation of the next day would make tonight's sleep very good. Tom and Lily greeted Mrs. Davis warmly when they entered the classroom door now. They placed their two small backpacks carefully under their stable wooden desks. Tom could feel the extra water bottle for the big climb waiting patiently inside his bag. Lily had packed a colorful, beautiful small scarf for the very cold mountain peak tomorrow. They shared a knowing, excited look about their powerful future plans. Tom quietly took out his favorite red pencil case to prepare for the lesson. He gently touched the lucky small dog picture inside the zipper compartment briefly. He realized that the fun adventure was much better because he shared it with Lily. Their friendship made even the simplest city park feel like a very distant, special island. Tom decided he would keep the small picture in his backpack forever now. During the quiet afternoon break, Tom and Lily stood near the tall window together. They looked out at the familiar playground area where their mountain awaited them. Lily said, "Our imaginations can truly make any ordinary place feel very exciting and new." Tom nodded his head slowly, agreeing completely with his thoughtful best friend. "Yes, and our blue backpacks are the perfect carriers for those big dreams," Tom added wisely. The last bell of the day finally rang, signaling the end of all the hard work. Tom carefully gathered all his books, papers, and his favorite red pencil case. He put everything back inside his reliable, small blue backpack very neatly. This small bag held not only his heavy school items but also his wonderful secrets. Tom said a heartfelt
"Goodbye"
to Lily, promising to meet her very early in the morning. He walked home slowly, watching the colorful sunset painting the sky above. He knew that the little blue backpack was a true keeper of all his exciting memories. It carried all the friendly kindness, all the bold dreams, and the truth of simple, happy friendship. He arrived at his warm, peaceful home, ready for the next day's great mountain climb. The story of the little blue backpack was now just beautifully beginning.